So there are two ways or two perspectives of seeing things. One is seeing Arjuna as a pure devotee who is acting for the purpose of helping us to get the knowledge. And second perspective is to see Arjuna as a conditioned soul, so that we can learn the lessons from the episode. And so there are two perspectives we find. So Prabhupada gives the example, famous example, which he has quoted at many places. That if somebody is drowning and you just save his dress while the person drowns, what is the use of just saving the drowning dress? So similarly, having compassion only for the body while having no compassion for the soul is not much beneficial. Because person will continue to suffer from the threefold miseries, from birth, old age, disease, death. So the suffering would continue. So it is not much useful. And then that's why now Krishna would start chastising Arjuna, if we see in the next verse. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutastva Kasmalam Idam Visame Samupastitam Anarajustam Aswargam Akirtim Karam Arjuna.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "My dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy."
Yeah. So in this way, again Krishna says that he chastises. Kutaha, kuta means from where or why. Kasmalam, malam means basically the impurities, and here kasmalam is impurities of bewilderment. Visame, so Visame means in such a crucial juncture of war. It comes from the word Visam. Visam means very crucial. So there is a time of war when you are supposed to fight, conch shells are already blown. So rather than lifting the weapon, you are crying like a baby here. So this is not supposed to be the time when you are supposed to cry. So upastitam. So how is it possible that in such a crucial juncture you are having such a bewilderment? So this is not befitting you. So then he used the word anarya justam. So those who are Aryas, people with good reputation, it doesn't befit such a person to give up his duty at such a crucial juncture. And this particular impurity will not be beneficial for you. Why? Aswargam. After death, it will not give you Swarga. It will not lead to heavenly planets. And in this life also, Akirtim. So in this world also, you will not get Kirti, means fame, you will get infamy. So during this life, you will not get fame, rather get infamy, and after dying, you will not get Swarga. So in this way, Krishna says, there is an befit a Arya. So who is a Arya? So Prabhupada writes, the word Aryan is applicable to persons who know the value of life and have a civilization based on spiritual realization. So those who have some spiritual goal are called Aryas. So it is not that the Aryan invasion theory, which was manufactured by Britishers, so that's the right theory, that's the wrong theory. So according to Britishers, they cooked up a theory saying that Indians were very civilized. That means Indians should have come from West. Why? Because all the good things should come from West. So that was like pre-assumption. So they said Aryans came from the West and Indians, those who are staying, are called Dravidians. So Dravidians were not very civilized people. Aryans were civilized people. So Aryans came and conquered Dravidians and pushed them to South India. So those who are in South India are the Dravidians, those who are in North India are called Aryans. And that is the theory they cooked up. And there is one very famous person in South India, a writer, who says this Ramayana is written by these Aryans, these North Indians, for showing their prowess over South Indians. So Lord Ram was a North Indian and Ravana was a South Indian, and they want to show that how North Indians are superior to South Indians. That's why they have written Ramayana. So these are all bogus philosophies. Why? Because this Bhagavad Gita was written 5,000 years ago, much before Britishers ever thought of even conquering India. And Hitler, he used this same theory for encouraging Germans to rule over the world. So he said that actually it is true that Aryans came from the West, but they didn't came from Britain, they came from Germany. So then Germans' blood is purest, Indians' blood is second purest. So Germans are supposed to rule the world. So he was quite favorable to India also, Hitler. But he was using that theory to conquer the whole world. That's why he would keep this swastika sign as is the sign for his clan. And that is how he was conquering the whole world. So when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he sent his disciples to the West for preaching. So then some of the disciples went to Germany. So they went to Britain, they made one lady into a devotee. And then other person, one more lord was there whom they wanted to make him devotee. So he said that I want to become a Brahmana, Lord said. So he asked what I am supposed to do. So he said very simple, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. So he said impossible. Then they came to Germany and they were preaching in Germany. So one of the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he was a professor, Professor Sanyal from Cuttack University. So his articles and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's articles, writings were almost same, not much difference. So then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati sometimes would write articles on his name and he would write articles on Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's name. So this was like, they would interchange. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati wrote an article which he wrote in the name of Professor Sanyal. So then he and the other sannyasi, Bon Maharaj, so both of them were like preaching, and then in order to attract the people, because they heard that they are believing in Aryan individual theory, so they had a title called Who is the Real Aryan? And then they wanted to speak on 2.2. So one of the very close members of Hitler, almost like a right hand person, he attended the seminar. But when he heard what it means to be Aryan, no, he thought, no, if people come to know who is the real Aryan, they will never believe that Germans are the best. So then they planned to kill both of these people. So then one of the person from their own clan, Hitler's clan, they informed these two devotees saying that you will be killed, it's better to run away. So overnight they turned him into a devotee, and both these devotees along with the third person, they came back to India, and that was the end of the preaching of Bhakti Saraswati in the West in that time. Later on Prabhupada went and he made it a success in the whole world. So the whole story regarding this Aryan invasion theory. But from this verse we can understand that who is an Aryan? Aryan is a person who has understanding of there is something called soul. So these are the civilized people basically. In one of the places in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati writes, which Prabhupada writes from his commentary, that generally Aryans would be the people who were like considered civilized. That means they were not involved in meat eating. So those who were religious and they were not involved in meat eating were called Aryans. And people who were like habituated to meat eating, so then they were not considered in the category of Aryans. So that is like one of the discrimination factor. So this is about Aryan. So Krishna says you are not acting like an Aryan. And then Prabhupada also mentions about what it means by having some understanding of spiritual realization. So he quotes this verse: Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattam yad jnanam advyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti sabditya. So those who have understanding of Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan, or they are on the path of realizing these three aspects, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, then they can be categorized as Aryans. So he gives example of sun globe, sun globe, sun sign and sun god. So of course he writes sun sign, sun surface and sun planet. So sun sign he compares to Brahman, that's all pervading aspect of the sun. Like now you may say that sun has arisen, but it is not arisen in your room. Sunlight has entered your room. But we say that sun has come in the room. So not sun planet has come, it is sun sign which has come. So sun pervades the entire universe through its sun sign. Similarly, Brahman is also all pervading aspect of the Lord. Then there is sun surface or sun globe, sun surface you can say. So that's compared to Paramatma, that's a higher realization, and highest realization is sun planet itself. Other place Prabhupada says sun god is like compared to Bhagavan realization. So anyway, both are like analogies. So then that is about so generally Brahmavadis, they realize sun sign or Brahman aspect. Yogis realize Paramatma aspect and devotees realize Bhagavan aspect. And then Prabhupada also defines what is Bhagavan in third paragraph. Somebody can read the third paragraph, Sanskrit word Bhagavan.
The absolute truth is realized in three aspects, three phases of understanding.
Next.
These
Next.
three divine aspects.
No, next of that, the Sanskrit word Bhagavan.
The Sanskrit word Bhagwan is explained by the great authority Prasara Muni, the father of Vyasadeva, the supreme personality who possesses all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation is called Bhagwan. There are many persons who are very rich, very powerful, very beautiful, very famous, very learned, and very much detached, but no one can claim that he possesses all riches, all strength, etc. entirely. Only Krishna can claim this because he is the supreme personality of Godhead. No living entity, including Brahma, Lord Shiva, or Narayan, can possess opulences as fully as Krishna. Therefore, it is concluded in the Brahma Samhita by Lord Brahma himself that Lord Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. No one is equal to or above him. He is the premier Lord or Bhagwan, known as Govinda, and he is the supreme cause of all causes. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagwan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primal Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes.
Yeah, thank you. So Prabhupada writes this is the. So he talks about these six opulences. So one who has all these six opulences: riches, strength, beauty, knowledge, renunciation. So he is called Bhagavan. Van means who possesses, and Bhag means Bhag comes from the word Bhagya. So somebody who has a good fortune, he is supposed to have these six opulences. And Lord has all these six opulences in full, because he is husband of goddess of fortune. So one who has all riches, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge and all renunciation is called Bhagavan. So this is the definition of Bhagavan. Okay. And then there is a quite a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna after 2.2. So just a minute. And then Krishna continues chastising Arjuna. क्लैब्यमास्मगमा पार्थ नैतत्वयि उपपद्यते क्षुद्रम हृदय दौर्बल्यम तक्तो उत्तिष्ठ परंतप. Please read.
O son of Pritha, do not yield to this degrading impotence. It does not become you. Give up such petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of the enemy.
So Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, don't become cowardly, klebyam. Don't become impotent. So you are a Kshatriya, you can't act so impotently as if no, you don't know how to how to fight. So fine, those who are inferior Kshatriyas may have all these things, but you are my friend, how can you do that? Now, so it's not like befitting you. So then Arjuna says, don't worry about my lack of bravery, don't think that I am coward, but I am seeing from the perspectives of dharma. Because Bhishma, Drona, other elders, so as a compassion towards them and also compassion towards the sons of Dhritarashtra who are weaker than myself, I should not afflict them by my weapons, rather I should die. So Krishna says, no, no, Arjuna. This is not discretion based on dharma, nor it is mercy upon the Kauravas. It is bewilderment and lamentation. Sudram Hirdaya Daurbalyam. Hirdaya Daurbalyam is basically weakness of heart. So your heart is weak, you are excessively becoming emotional. So this weakness of mind, you should give it up and you should rise above it. You are Parantapa, one who afflicts miseries upon the enemies. Tapa means afflicting. So you are supposed to afflict the miseries on the enemies. So fight. You should not you should not be overcome by the emotions which are coming in your mind. That is basically as good as saying become emotionally matured. So what is emotional maturity? Emotional maturity means when one can see oneself different from the mind. One knows the emotions are coming and going, but one uses the discretion of the intelligence to act. So one doesn't do what one feels, but one does what is supposed to be done according to Guru Sadhu Shastra. So because when we are swayed away by emotions, then generally we tend to take wrong decisions. So we should do what is supposed to be done. That doesn't mean we don't understand others' emotions. We understand others' emotions, but we do what is best for that person. So that's called the discretion based on intelligence, based on Guru Sadhu Shastra. So one cannot be just like one should not be just swayed away by the emotions. That's the main thing. Okay. Now we'll take questions. Okay, Anupam Mukund bro. You are muted.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here you mentioned Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So, Prabhuji, generally, so can we differentiate all these three, or we should not differentiate these three because all are energy of Krishna only? So, how we have to understand these three things?
Now, we do have to differentiate. Like we differentiate between nose of Krishna and ear of Krishna.
Yes, we should not differentiate.
Yes. Discrimination is a function of intelligence. Only thing we understand is that all three are existence of Krishna. So we do have discrimination. At the same time, we understand that them as the part of Krishna. So we have we see things in the proper perspective. That's the main thing. But we do have discrimination. Brahman has only Sat aspect, Brahman is eternal. Paramatma has Sat aspect as well as the Chit aspect. But knowledge of Paramatma means knowledge of Lord's activities within this material world. That's called Paramatma. Because all activities in the material world are done by Paramatma, which is a work of creation, maintenance and destruction. So the work done by the three Vishnus, Karnodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu, that's called the Leela of Paramatma. So that's why having that knowledge is called Chit aspect. Because Paramatma does all these things. So that's Paramatma. And Bhagavan also has Sat, Chit and Ananda. Because you can relate with Krishna or Lord Narayan, but not with Vishnu. Vishnu is there in the Paramatma in the heart, you can see at him. And then maximum he may smile at you, that's all. You don't offer him services, you don't have no personal relationship with him. So that's why that bliss of service is there in the higher rasas. So that's with the Bhagavan. So Bhagavan has all three aspects. Okay? So they are
Yes,
different.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, Rohit bro.
Prabhu, same doubt, Prabhu. The other aspects of Krishna, like Brahman and Paramatma, Prabhupada quotes that it is incomplete, and if all the the aspects of Krishna all are complete, whatever coming from Krishna is complete. So how we have to understand that realizing those aspects, the complete aspects as incomplete. So how we have to understand? The Prabhupada says it is an incomplete realization of the complete. So how we have to understand? This is my question.
When we say complete, we have to understand complete from the perspective. Like when we say then even material world is complete. So material world is complete in its own aspect. It's complete in the sense that it provides you an opportunity to prove that you are God. Then anyway you are not God. So then you fail. And when you fail and you want to go back to God, become servant of God, material world gives an opportunity to even go back to God. So Lord is sending devotees, holy name, temples, books, by which we can go back to God. So in that sense, material world is complete. So it's complete in its purpose. It's complete in its purpose. So that doesn't mean that now everything will start acting in a same way. That's more of a communistic idea. Everybody is equal. Man is equal, woman is equal. Then man is also supposed to give birth to the child. He doesn't give birth to the child. So there are differences. So everybody is complete, but they're complete in their own purpose. Okay?
Yes, one more in Brahman and Paramatma, how we have to understand like they are complete in their own purposes. Like what could be the purposes, respective purposes?
See, many people are there, those who don't want to have relationship with the Lord. At the same time, they are too fearful of material nature. So they don't want to entangle. At the same time, they don't have love for the Lord. Lord has Brahman for that. At the same time, you have to understand, Brahman is the existence of the Lord. It's the effulgence of the Lord. Now you can't say, Krishna, why you are having effulgence? What is the purpose of effulgence? Or Krishna, why you are having a nose? You should not have nose. That's a part of personality. Personality means he has nose, he has ears, he has effulgence. Similarly, Paramatma has a purpose. Because when we come in this world, Lord wants to guide us back to Him. So then He fulfills that purpose as Paramatma. And at the same time, Jiva cannot do things like creation, maintenance, and destruction. So Lord personally does that. So He makes alternative people like Lord Shiva and Brahma, but He is the one who does primary creation, primary destruction. So that is how Lord has to do all these things. Okay?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Paramanand Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Comparison of Paramatma relation to the sun globe, Prabhu. So, like while explaining to the devotees, so how to compare this, I didn't understand, Prabhu. Paramatma is situated in the heart of every living entity. So, on the sun globe, so how the comparison will come?
See, when Prabhupada writing sun surface here, see basically what it means is sun surface means it has a form.
Sun surface as is form.
Sunshine has no form.
Yes, Prabhu.
So similarly, Paramatma has a form, Brahman has no form.
Okay.
At the same time, sun surface is not the complete understanding of the sun.
Okay.
So then you have to know what is the details. So that we'll understand only when you have understanding of sun globe. Who is living there, who is not living there, what all features are there. Similarly, Bhagavan is a complete realization of the Supreme Lord. It's not partial. Okay.
Yes, Prabhu. And yes, Prabhu. And one more thing, Prabhu, say here, especially Lord Krishna is superior to even Narayana. So little bit, you can put some light on it.
Narayana is like Lord in office, Krishna is like Lord in home. But when you are in home, you are in home. When you are in office, you are in office. Lord can simultaneously exist in home and office.
Yes.
So in a home, your son may make you horse and ride on you. But same son comes to the office, you can't allow him to become the rider of the horse and you become a horse. So similarly, when Lord is in Narayan, as Narayan, he can't do whatever he wants. So rasas are less. But as far as Krishna is concerned, no, you can fight with Krishna, you can treat him like a son, you can dance with Krishna. All those aspects are not possible in Vaikuntha. Okay?
Yes, Lord. So that's why Lord Krishna is superior to Narayan.
Yeah. Because you superior in the sense that they are same persons, but you can have more exchanges with Krishna than with Narayan.
Yes.
Whatever you can have with Narayan, you can have with Krishna. At the same time, you can have more than that.
Yes.
So apart from serving Krishna, you can dance with Krishna, you can play with Krishna, you can feed Krishna.
Yes. Bro, one more question, bro. These three Vishnus, they will come under Paramatma relation. So a little bit, some more explanation required, bro.
See, when it comes to the Paramatma within the heart, he is Chirodaksha Vishnu.
Yes, bro.
So he is the one who gives you knowledge, realization. He is the one who sanctions the karma, etc. So that's why he is practically maintaining the individual soul, individual person.
Bro, Paramatma and Chirodaksha Vishnu both are the same, bro. But Chirodaksha Vishnu, some places they're in this. Or Chirodaksha Vishnu is another expansion of, like Paramatma is another expansion of Chirodaksha Vishnu.
Not expansion, he is the same person. It's not even expansion. Prabhupada gives example like you move from one place to another place, you will see that sun is going along with you.
Yes.
So similarly, same Paramatma, but seems as if he is different in different people, different at different places, but he is same person. So no difference. And as far as Garbhodaksha Vishnu is concerned, so I'll start with Karnodaksha Vishnu. Karnodaksha Vishnu is considered the Paramatma of the whole world, whole material creation. So if whole material creation is compared to body, and all the living entities in the material creation are considered soul, then the Paramatma is Mahavishnu. Because when Mahavishnu breathes out, creation takes place. When he breathes in, the destruction takes place. Now when it comes to, from him comes Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So if you considered the individual universe to be body, and all the souls in the universe to be a soul, then Garbhodaksha Vishnu becomes Paramatma. Because of his presence, there is a creation in the universe, and whenever the time of destruction, he withdraws. And same Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he expands as Sarvadaksha Vishnu, who is considered a maintainer. So in this way, they do creation, maintenance and destruction, all the three things. Okay?
And the last one, Prabhu. So this Sat-Chit potency, Prabhu, Sat, Chit and Ananda. So for Brahman relation, so Sat relation, that just a little bit explanation.
Sat means you just know in Brahman realization that you are eternal. That's all, nothing else is there. What knowledge do you have? I am Brahman, that's all. Aham Brahmasmi. Any other knowledge, no other knowledge. It's really you don't have anything about Lord. Okay, I am part of that Lord, that's all. What else? Nothing else.
So Prabhuji, Gnana Yogis will come under this? No. Brahmavadis.
That we'll learn in detail. Okay?
And then, so Sat-Chit Prabhu, Paramatma relation.
Paramatma, as I told, Chit means also knowledge. Your knowledge of Paramatma. That he is a form. He performs the work of creation, maintenance and destruction. So your knowledge about the Lord. Your knowledge about yourself, who you are, what is your form. But there is no relationship with the Lord, so there is no Ananda. Bhagavan realization also has Ananda. You can relate with the Lord, and that gives the bliss. That's not available both for Paramatmavadis and the Brahmavadis. Okay?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay, Susakha Arjun Prabhu.
What's the destination of Paramatma realized devotees?
I can't hear you, Mata. You have to speak little loudly.
What is the destination of Paramatma realized devotees?
They go to three Vishnus.
Okay.
In case they have some attraction for Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha, they may go to Lord Narayan in Vaikuntha. But for those who don't have such a thing, so they generally go to three Vishnus. So you'll find a lot of yogis staying there in the place of Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu. You will find some paintings of South India. Even in the North India, like paintings are there. So they are the personalities who were great yogis, and they get opportunity to live with the Lord and glorify the Lord. Okay?
What is this Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu? You said Paramatma of
He is Paramatma of the universe.
individual universe. Each universe you will have one
One Garbhodaksha Vishnu. And Mahavishnu, entire creation.
entire creation.
Okay. Okay, Sarojini Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu Dangal pranams. You are talking about the Sat form, right, Prabhu? It's only eternal. Then what do they achieve, these Brahmavadis? If they don't get any bliss or anything, then what is the motivation behind them to stay there?
No misery. So it's no misery. See, many times you want to go to peaceful place, especially you will find in the families also. Sometimes husband and wife they have a fight. So then there is a peace treaty. Husband and wife they don't talk to each other. I remember one of my neighbors, uncle and auntie were there. So whenever they would have fight, sometimes for months together they won't fight. They won't talk. So depending on the intensity of the fight, the period would be longer. And then auntie would come and cook and would say, And uncle would say, and then he would take. So that is the only way they would talk to each other. So there is no bliss or relationship when we are in such a situation. But you feel a little peaceful, at least misery is not there. So that's a Brahman realization.
There's one more question, Prabhu. Can you explain the difference? Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu and Mahavishnu. Can you repeat once? Mahavishnu and Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu.
See, from each pore of Mahavishnu, one universe comes out. So then, Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he is considered the Paramatma of each and every universe, because he stays in each and every universe. And Mahavishnu is the Paramatma of entire matter, entire material world.
Is it one whole universe you're talking from? One whole universe is Mahavishnu is the...
Okay, you have to have some idea of creation for that. When Mahavishnu breathes out, from each and every pore of skin has a lot of pores. If you put your hand in water, you will find some bubbles coming out.
Yes.
So similarly, from each and every pore of Mahavishnu, one universe comes out. So that's why Mahavishnu is considered the Paramatma of entire material creation. But when in each and every universe, Mahavishnu expands as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So Garbhodaksha Vishnu is considered the Paramatma of each and every universe. And Kshirodaksha Vishnu is Paramatma in each and everyone's heart. And as well as each and every atom, between every atom he is there, all pervading. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Anupam Mukunda Prabhu?
Prabhuji, yes, Prabhuji. So adding to Paramananda Prabhu question, you told that Krishna is in office is Narayana, in home Krishna. So if you take like this, Prabhuji, so the entire spiritual and material world's activities completely taken by Narayana Prabhu or Krishna only?
Material world person who Vishnu, Narayana performs the activities in the spiritual world, Vishnu performs the activities in the material world. So these three Paramatmas are three Vishnus: Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Karnodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu. Narayan stays in the spiritual world. So Narsingh Dev, Varadev, Kurmavatar, they all are Narayan. So there is a difference.
Okay,
And
Prabhuji.
Krishna stays in Golok Vrindavan.
So to be say one word, in the entire spiritual world, his activity is taken care by Narayana, Lord Narayana. Yes, no, Prabhuji.
Yeah. See, taken care means it's not like they are just like caretakers, like you have a caretaker in a hostel, some hostel warden is there. It's not like that. He's the Lord. He's the center.
Okay.
So certainly taking care is not like more taking care. You enjoy with the Lord, you have relationship with the Lord in the Vaikuntha with Narayana. And in Golok Vrindavan you have relationship with Krishna.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. And one more question, Prabhuji. So Vaishnavi Mataji asked this question. Adding to this, Prabhuji. So if anyone have the Paramatma realization, so they will go to, you said Vishnus, three Vishnus. So means these three Vishnus also will stay in this material world. Means will they will get the opportunity to go to spiritual world, or again they will take birth in this material world?
No. They don't have to take birth in this material world, because these are also spiritual places. It's not that people in abodes of three Vishnus have to undergo birth, old age, disease, death. No, not like that. They are as good as Vaikunthas. In case they are dissatisfied, they can go to other place. But generally they are not dissatisfied. They are happy there. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Krishna Prabhu, one question, Prabhu. Prabhu, like all the avatars and all the incarnations of Krishna, they are coming from Kshirodaksha Vishnu. If Krishna, how we have to understand, like Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, but all the incarnations are coming through Kshirodaksha Vishnu. How we have to understand that?
Okay. Let me ask you one question. You have seen fountains? Fountains.
Yeah, fountain.
Fountains have water. Fountains store water, or fountains are the medium to give you water.
Can you repeat your question, bro? I could not hear.
Fountains, they are themselves source of water, or they are medium to give you water. Like no, Bangalore. In Bangalore, do you get water from tap, or you get water through tap?
Through tap, bro.
Yeah. So tap is not source of water. Rains are source of water. Sometimes city people, they think, if you ask the children, from where does the water come? Water comes from tap. No, water doesn't come from tap. Water comes from rains. So similarly, here also, Kshirodaksha Vishnu is considered the fountain head of all incarnations. Like if you have a fountain in a crossroads or in a temple, you will find water sources anywhere else, somewhere else. And water comes through the medium of this fountain. It gives water. So similarly, all incarnations are in the spiritual world. They descend via media of Kshirodaksha Vishnu. What is the meaning of via media? Because as far as demigods are concerned, they can't approach anyone except Kshirodaksha Vishnu. They always go to ocean of milk. So then he becomes the medium in the sense that he is the one who conveys the message. It's not literally conveying message, because he is non-different from those incarnations. There is no difference between Vishnu, Narayan or Krishna except their functionalities. Same persons. So in this way he becomes source. But actually in that sense is he is a fountainhead. That's why he is called fountainhead of all incarnations. He is not incarnations themselves. Okay?
Yeah, understood, bro. It is clear now. Some other sampradayas like Ramanuja Sampradaya, Shiv Sampradaya, they says that Mahavishnu, Sri Mahavishnu is the Supreme Personality. From there, every incarnation will come. But as per our Sampradaya, our philosophy concern, Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. So here some linkage is missing, bro. Now it is clear. Thank you.
Okay. Hari. Okay, we have one more question chat box. Prabhuji, Aryan and one more thing, please explain. Okay, one more thing. So Maharani Mata, you have
Yes,
one more thing or one more time?
No, that Aryan and Throwian something you told, no, that one. Aryan and opposite for Aryan.
Okay. Aryans are the civilized people. So anybody who has understanding of soul, next body, and generally another criteria is that they are not engaged in meat eating. So such people were called Aryans as per Vedic civilizations, such communities. Now, so even in North India, our place, like in my town where I stay, there are many people still they don't take onion garlic. Like in our house also, onion garlic was never cooked. And then we had understanding, okay, Vishnu is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not exactly the way we have in ISKCON. So there were some civilizations that was like almost all Aryans were following that culture. So those who follow that culture is called Aryan. And those who don't have that culture are called Anarya. And Dravid word was used in the Vedic culture for those in South India. Dravid Desh or Panch God. These are all terms used for different regions in India. So Dravid Desh means South Indian. What I was quoting was the modern philosophy given by Britishers, which say that Indians were Dravidians and Aryans came from the West. So they pushed and defeated Dravidians to the South India. That's why Aryans are so cultured. So that is the wrong philosophy that Britishers used to rule over Indians, because Indians, so that Indians should not be proud of their culture. So I was refuting that philosophy. Okay, because the word anaryan is used in this particular second verse. Anarya justam asvargam akirtam kitam arjuna. So arya word is already well known in Vedic culture. Okay.
Prabhuji, one more question, Prabhuji. That you told devotees understand Bhagavan and two more things who will understand, Prabhu? Yogi and that sun sign and Paramatma and Brahman.
See, generally what Prabhupada says is Jnanis understand Brahman, Yogis understand Paramatma, and devotees understand Bhagavan. But actually speaking, we will see in detail, even Yogis also, Karmis, Jnanis, Yogis, the highest destination from them is Brahman only. So actually speaking, Paramatma aspect also needs a lot of devotion to Paramatma. So such people may be counted as Yogamesar Bhaktas. So these are details. So that's why I'm saying there is a general way of learning things. Jnanis, Brahman, Yogis, Paramatma, Bhaktas, Bhagavan. But then there is a detail in that. So detail we learn in due course of time. Okay. Okay, so many questions. Okay, fine. But don't ask entire Bhagavad Gita now. Huh? Something which we'll discuss in future, I'll not answer them. Fine. Santosh Pro.
Thanks, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Am I audible, Prabhu?
And now you're audible.
Yes, sir. Because of since I'm to the point of going through, and there were different Ramanuja Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya says that Narayana is the supreme, and according to our Sampradaya, we say Krishna is supreme. And there is a one scripture, but there is a difference.
There's difference in understanding. There's difference in understanding.
Yeah, that's right.
So there is incomplete understanding, there is a complete understanding. Somebody says that, no, Chief Minister of, let me start with Mayor. Mayor of Bangalore is the ruler of Bangalore. Second person says, no. Chief Minister of Karnataka is the ruler of Bangalore. Third person says, no. Ruler of India is ruler of Bangalore. So who is right? Yeah, all of them are right. Only thing is, first person is not so complete like second person is not complete like third person. So that's why we have complete understanding. So that's the main thing. So that's the difference. Okay. So none of them are wrong. Okay. So only Paramanand Prabhu is remaining. Yes, Paramanand.
Prabhuji, as you said, most of the yogis, they'll concentrate on the Hrudayastha Paramatma. That means they will meditate on Paramatma who is residing in their heart, Prabhu. So at that time, what is their destination? Means they will go to Chirodaka Sai Vishnu. That means Chirodaka Sai Vishnu, you will stay in the heart of living entities. Will they go and reside along with Chirodaka Sai Vishnu, or they will have separate destination?
We will talk about it when we talk in 6th chapter. So there are 4 destinations for Paramatma Vadis. We will discuss there.
4 destinations for Paramatma. Thank you, bro.
Fine. So we are done till 3rd. And then 4th, Arjuna starts.
Third we have to.
Arjuna Vacha Katham Bhisma Aham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Isubhi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana.
Killer of enemies, for killer of Madhu, how can I counterattack with arrows in battle men like Bhishma and Drona, who are worthy of my worship?
So then Arjuna says, according to scriptures of dharma, not respecting those who are worthy of worship. So there is a verse called Prati Badanati Hisreya Puja Puja Vyatikramaha. Yeah. So he says those who are worthy of worship, they should be respected. So these people who are Bhishma Dev, Dronacharya, they are worthy of worship. So how can I kill them? Rather I should withdraw from fighting. So Krishna says, but my dear Arjuna, but these elders are fighting against you. Why you are not able to fight against them? See, it's not that now they are silently sitting and then you respect, but they are shooting arrows. So at least for defense purpose, you have to shoot the arrows. So when they are fighting, you should also fight. Arjuna said, no, I can't do that. Why? Because puja arahao. Isu bhi pratiyotsyami puja arahao. Puja arahao means they are worthy of worship. So I should offer them flowers in devotion as a lotus feet rather than using the sharp arrows. I can't use arrows at them. Because you also injure your enemies in the battlefield, not your Guru Sandipani Muni. So that's why he uses the word Arisudana. Arisudana means that you kill your Ari means enemies. So my dear Krishna, you also kill the enemies, enemies. You don't kill your Guru, Sandipani Muni or your grandfather. So why are you asking me to do all these activities? So that's why Arjuna says two words, if you see. First line he used the word Madhusudana, second line he used the word Arisudana. Because initially when Krishna says, Arjuna says Madhusudana, one of the ancestors of Krishna is also Madhu. So there is demon Madhu and there is also ancestor of Krishna who is called Madhu. So Krishna says, you want to say that I killed my grandfather or great grandfather. He said, no, I'm not talking about that Madhu. Arisudana, your enemy Madhu. So you kill your enemies but not your relatives. Why are you telling me to kill my relatives? So that's Arjuna's question. And then Krishna says, but if you don't kill your relatives, how will you live? Because you are a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is supposed to live by ruling. So then Arjuna speaks the next verse. Gurun hatva hi mahanubhava Shreyo bhoktum bhekcham api he loke Hatvart kamans tu guru niheva Bhunji ye bhogan Rudhi pratidigdan. Please read.
It would be better to live in this world by begging than to live at the cost of the lives of great souls who are my teachers. Even though desiring worldly gain, they are superiors. If they are killed, everything we enjoy will be tainted with blood.
Yeah. So then Arjuna says, I will not kill my elders, rather I will live by begging. So although it is condemned for a Kshatriya to beg, still I will beg. Why? Because although it will bring infamy in this life, but it will not be inauspicious for future lives. Because according to dharma, if I kill them, it will bring sin, which will spoil my future lives. So let me suffer infamy in this life rather than spoiling my future lives. And nobody should say that no, because they are obedient to Duryodhana, so I should kill them. Because they have become proud. So then Arjuna says that because there is in Mahabharata it is written, there is a verse in Mahabharata itself. It says, Guru api abhiliptasya karya karyam ajanata utpatha pratipannasya pratiyago vidiyate. That one should reject the guru who has become proud and does not know proper behavior and who becomes engaged in sinful life. So guru who is proud, who doesn't know proper behavior and who is engaged in sinful life, such a guru can be rejected. So Arjuna said, no, don't say like that. Why? Because Mahanubhava, they are not just my guru, they are also very great personalities. So certainly for some time they have been overcome by greed and lust, enjoying the kingdom and they want wealth. But over the time we find they have control over time. So they are not ordinary people. Like Bhishmadev, he had Iksha Mrityu. He could die whenever he wanted. So such a great personality who can die whenever he wants, such a person, how can I shoot arrows at him? Like we know when he took the vow of staying brahmachari for whole life, Maharaj Santanu gave him this boon that you have Iksha Mrityu. You can die whenever you want. So then he says that, so I don't think so, no, this would be killed. But then Krishna quotes, he says, but Bhishmadev himself told to Yudhishthira, when Yudhishthira came that now you take my side, Bhishmadev what he said? Artha asya puruso daso dasasas tvi artho na kasyachit iti satya maharaja baddho asmi arthena kaurave. My dear Yudhishthir, man is servant of wealth, wealth is nobody's servant. So because I am taking wealth from these Kauravas, I am bound. I am taking salary from them, I am depending on them, so I am bound. So that's why, because this Bhishmadev, Krishna says, he is desiring wealth and he has become greedy, so he can be rejected. So it's not like, no, okay, he may be great personality, but he has given up his greatness being purchased by the Kaurava grains, being purchased by Kaurava's wealth. Arjuna says that's true, but if I kill them, I will be unhappy. I will be unhappy because ultimately we fight to be happy. But if I kill them, he is my great grandfather, I will be unhappy. So Artha Kamans, although these Kurus who are greedy for wealth, this wealth will be tainted by the blood. Why? Because they are still my gurus, even if they deserve wealth. So my enjoyment will be mixed with sin, or my enjoyment will be mixed by the grief of killing them. Same thing almost Duryodhana also spoke to other elderly people. So Bhishmadev, Dronachar, all the people were telling Duryodhana to give up fighting. Duryodhana said that I don't find any logic why I should not fight. He said, anyway, Bhishmadev, Dronachar is on my side, Pandavas cannot win. And I will enjoy the kingdom. Pandavas will be vanquished. But let us say, even if I die, my people die, and who wins? Pandavas win. What will happen to me? I will die and enjoy in Sargaloka. Because I am a Kshatriya who died fighting. And as far as Yudhishthira is concerned, he will have to get the kingdom by killing Bhishmadev, Dronachar, Salya and all the relatives. So will he rule over the cremation ground? It is like as good as living with a ghost. So he said that no, anyway they are going to suffer from the war and I am going to enjoy from the war, either in this world or in the next world. So I will not stop fighting. So same thing Arjuna is saying, that no, even if I win, I will have to kill all these relatives with whom I am supposed to experience the joy. So I do not want to fight. He refuses. And then further he says, Na chetat vidmaha kartano na gariyo यत् न विजेम यदि वानो जयो यान एव हत्वा न जिजीविषामस् त्यवस्थिता प्रमुखे धातराष्ट्रः. Please read.
Nor do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Astra, we should not care to live, yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield.
So this shows the fifth reason for Arjuna not to fight. That's confusion. He is confused about his duty. So he shows first thing is I am not very sure whether we will win, even if we have war. And let us say even if I win the war, I will have to kill my relatives. So I am confused whether I should. It is worthy to win over Kauravas and get a kingdom by killing them, who are my relatives. So I am not convinced only that I should fight. So that's like no, unless until we are convinced about a particular thing, how can we execute that particular thing? So he said, I am not convinced, I am confused. What is my duty? Should I fight, not fight? Nothing is sure. I don't find any reason to fight. So that's the fifth reason of Arjuna why not to fight. Okay, Anupam Mukund.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Earlier sloka question, Prabhuji. So to understand in general people. So Prabhuji, you said that here Bhishma Dev, he is strict to his promise or puja arha. So Shamanta Maharaj, so he strict to that, and also he is with Kauravas. So you mentioned that. So because of taking their money or enjoying their money, he is there on that side. So Prabhuji, in this case, how we have to understand he's a great Mahajana. So and also he's a great devotee. So but he is strict to his oath or he is strict to his whatever puja arha, whoever is there. So in general public, how they have to understand, even though he's a great devotee, he is situated in that side.
Bhishma Dev is a great devotee, but he is taking a role of a conditioned soul. That is how we understand. Like Arjuna is a great devotee, he is not supposed to be confused. But he is taking role of a conditioned soul so that he can we can learn from him. So similarly, Bhishma Dev, although he is a pure devotee, he is a Mahajana, but then he is taking a role from which we can derive some lessons. That's why Krishna later on he takes Yudhishthir Maharaj and all the Pandavas to Bhishma Dev, so that Bhishma Dev will speak, and then at least at the end of the life, people will understand that he is a Mahatma. That chapter comes in Bhagavatam. But before that, he always took the role of a conditioned soul. A person who is bound by his words to his father. Now, doesn't he know that, okay, when Krishna comes, no, there is transcendental morality, you can give up all your vows. He knows that. But then he was acting more like a conditioned soul. Okay? Or he could have done something like Vidura, just go for pilgrimage. I'll not fight only. But then he took a different stand. Okay?
Okay, sure, Prabhuji. And one more question, Prabhuji. So in the same manner, so here Arjuna is fighting, so as a Kshatriya he has to fight. So irrespective of whether puja arha, puja anarha. But at the same time, if at all in the situation, in a practical manner, if at all a devotees it came, so if Arjuna think as a devotee, or otherwise in our practical sense, if we have to speak devotee against devotee, so how we have to think or rationalize things.
Follow verse number 7. Okay, we'll read it, text number 7.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
कार्पण्य दोषोपहता स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेता यच्छ्रेयसा निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्ते हम साधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम. Please read the translation.
Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of misery weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Yeah. So that is the attitude which one should have whenever one is confused about his duty. What one should do, one should not do. So one has to surrender to some Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and one should ask. So Prabhupada gives the example of forest fire. Sometimes forest fire has no cause. Two bamboos come together and they rub, and the fire arises. It burns the whole forest into ashes. So similarly, many times without anybody's intervention or mistake, there are problems in life. Sometimes very, very big battles are fought just because of some miscommunication. Nobody's mistake is there. Like, I don't know how much it is real or there is some other fact behind that, but what I heard is after the Vietnam War, which US fought for decades and so many Americans died because of that. So they were thinking this British general, sorry, not British, American general, he had a talk with Vietnamese after the whole war for decades. So then he asked him, why were you taking side of China? So we didn't wanted communism to spread, that's why we attacked you. Because they are capitalist, they wanted to curb the communism. And Vietnam general, he spoke, he said, China is our enemy. There is no question of taking side of China. Simple miscommunication. It had consequences for decades. So that is how sometimes, because of simple things, some miscommunications, there is a fight. So Prabhupada says that's why perplexities are bound to appear in this world. So that's why one has to approach a spiritual master. One Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru. So Arjuna does the same thing. So after verse number 6, Krishna says, indeed while speaking the meaning of scripture to bring out conclusion, but you have, although you are a Kshatriya, you have decided that I'll beg. I'll remain a beggar. So you are saying, please speak, please instruct me. Why should I instruct you? Because you are talking as if you are a very intelligent person, and then you're not acting very intelligently. So then, just a minute, 2.2 I saw, no, okay, fine. So then what happened is, then Arjuna says that, no, my dear Lord, I am not having my natural courage of a Kshatriya. Kshatriyas are courageous. Karpanya, I am having miserly weakness. In trying to understand dharma, I am not able to understand what is my dharma, what is my duty at this particular point of time. So Karpanya, because of miserly weakness. So Prabhupada gives a big definition about Kripana and Brahmana. Kripana means miserly person. Who is a miserly person? Miserly person is compared to a Yaksha. Yakshas are associates of Kuber who guard the wealth of demigods. So they don't enjoy that wealth, because it is not their wealth. At the same time, they don't allow others to enjoy the wealth. Similarly, miserly person, neither he enjoys the wealth, nor he allows family members to enjoy the wealth. He just keeps the wealth. And at a point of time in India, when there were like scarcity, I remember that one of our brahmacharis, he was telling his grandfather would lock even sugar in the almirah, so that nobody should access sugar. So neither he would eat nor he would allow others to eat. So that tendency is there. The tendency is there. So that's called motherly man. So motherly man cannot utilize what he has properly. Similarly, who is a motherly man? Who has human form of life and he doesn't engage in self-realization. You can use human body for self-realization, but you are using it for eating, sleeping, mating, defending, which can be done even in the other bodies. And such a person is called miserly man, Kripana. Who is a Brahmana? Brahmana who is a broad-minded person, opposite of Kripana. He talks about Brahma. Brahma means spiritual life. So he is called a Brahmana. So that's what two definitions are there. So then Arjuna says that, but I don't know what is my duty. I can understand. But Krishna says that, Arjuna, you are already having a big debate with me. No, Krishna, according to Arthashastra, he tells in the previous verses. I just forgot to tell. No, I told you when it came out, aggressors. So Krishna said that now they are aggressors, you can kill them. Arjuna said, no, even if they are aggressors, according to Arthashastra, aggressors can be killed. But Dharma Shastras are higher. According to them, if the aggressor is your relative, you can't kill them. If they are their guru, you can't kill them. So you are having debate with me and you are very intelligent. Why are you coming and surrender to me? Arjuna says, no. Sisyaste ham sadhi mam tvam prapannam. Now we will not have relationship of friends, because friends talk but they don't hear. It's like they discuss. So there is no question of submission with a friend. But there is certainly a submission from a guru. So he says that, so I am your disciple now, please instruct me. So then Krishna says, go to Vyasadev. Vyasadev is an elderly person, he can act like your guru. I am your friend. Arjuna says, no. What to say of Vyasadev? Even Brahaspati cannot remove my misery. Okay, that will come more in the 8th verse. So that I will talk at that time. So basic thing Prabhupada explains here, that even if somebody is so much realized like Arjuna was such a warrior that he single-handedly defeated all the Kauravas in Virat Yuddha, fight of Virat. Arjuna was a person who was so self-controlled that Urvasi, even demigods like Varuna and Mitra, they couldn't stand in the presence of Urvasi. She was so beautiful. And they discharged semen, and as a result of that, now some rishis are born. But Arjuna, when he was approached by Urvasi, he said, no, I can't accept you. Because one of my ancestor, Pururva, he married you. So you are like my mother. Now great grandmother. So I can't enjoy with you. Urvasi said, no, we are Apsaras. We are nobody's sister, nobody's mother, nothing like that. We keep our virginity intact, even if we enjoy hundreds of times. We have special powers. So there is no harm in enjoying with me, because I am not a person of earth planet. Arjuna refused. As a result of that, she cursed him to become a eunuch for 1 year. Arjuna accepted that curse, but he didn't enjoy. So such a self-controlled person, such an intelligent person, such a powerful person, even he can have difficulties in life. Then what to say of all of us? So Prabhupada emphasizes on the necessity of a guru at this time, that we need someone to guide us in our life. So guidance is required. Okay, Paramanand Prabhu and then Santosh Prabhu.
It is miserly. For example, for miserly is like you told excess. So, but when we see like this Narada Muni pastime with Kubera's sons, Sunala Kubera and Manikriva. So they were like fully engrossed because of this wealth. And even we can see Kubera also, he has palatial buildings. So, and he has so much amount of money. So he has given debt to Venkateswara, like that. We think we'll discuss no problem. So how to understand?
No, I'm talking about the assistant of Kubera, Yaksha. I didn't give example of Kubera. I gave example of assistant of Kubera, Yakshas.
Okay.
Yakshas don't hold the wealth. They just protect the wealth.
Yes.
Okay, Santosh bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. And since you're talking about the Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, surrendering to Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, Prabhu, the question is like, in terms of surrendering to Shiksha Guru, like sometimes we want to surrender completely, and sometimes maybe not required now, and sometimes why should I? So based on the situation changes, Prabhu. So how can we surrender completely, and how to understand that situation, Prabhu?
Anyway, all new people have this problem. And are you were preached during IVF days?
Prabhuji?
Did you come in Krishna consciousness as a student?
As a new employee, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay,
Just
new
completed
employee.
engineering came.
Okay. So that's how you have all these questions. A general question. See, initially people think, no, surrender means a blind surrender. We find Arjuna also has, despite surrendering, Arjuna will ask so many questions to Krishna. So surrender is not a blind surrender. It's a surrender with intelligence, not surrendering our intelligence. So basic thing is, I am supposed to follow scriptures, my duty. That is what Arjuna speaks in this verse. Now, based on scriptures, Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru can help me understand what is my duty. So both Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, they help us to understand scriptures very properly and also help us understand the application of the scripture in our life. So that is called surrender. Surrender means I will follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. That's called surrender. I will not follow my mind. It may not be exactly about details. In detail, there can be differences between even Diksha Guru and a disciple. Like Prabhupada would appreciate Tamal Krishna Maharaj like anything. The reason is, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was the only one who would discuss with Prabhupada. Prabhupada, you are saying like this, it may be like that. You are saying like this, it may be like that. Prabhupada said at least one intelligent person is there. Other people, what the Prabhupada will say, yes Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, and now just continue. So managerially there can be differences. There can be discussions. But in essence, our goal should be, I have to follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So we take the help of Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru to understand scriptures and to apply scriptures. So that is the main, that's called surrendering to Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Okay? It's not in detail.
Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Like you go and finding out, no, which toothpaste Prabhupada used to use, I'll use only. Or which soap Prabhupada used to use, no, I will use only that soap. That's like considered a blind imitation. Like I heard, I don't know how much it's true, but I heard from some devotees. Prabhupada went to one Gurukul where there were kids, like 5-year, 6-year old kids were there. So they asked now, Prabhupada, how much should we feed them? Prabhupada, they were small kids, you feed them 2 chapatis. Now kids became like class 7, class 8, 5-6 years passed, and they are feeling hungry. And they asked, no, we want more chapatis. No, Prabhupada said only 2 chapatis. Or they will die. So the difference between letter of the word and spirit of the word. So spirit is that we understand that we want to follow scriptures and have to apply them practically, and that is how we discuss with the spiritual master. We learn from the spiritual master. Not that now whole life We'll keep on nagging the spiritual master for small details. So you learn from the spiritual master and gain knowledge. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Anupam Kuntu.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I don't know whether to ask this question or not. So, but in general, the outside people, mundane people, they will tell like this. See, Prabhuji, if you take the Indra, Chandra, Varuna, all these demigods, so earlier you told Arjuna that he rejected Urvasi. But if you take these demigods and all, they will enjoy all this, whatever the Apsarasas and all. So like that, these mundane people will tell even the demigods, so they will not following the etiquettes. So how we can follow like that? Some means that they will disrespect the demigods. So in this scenario, so what we have to explain them, how we have to understand.
See, as far as demigods are concerned, there are different rules for the demigods. It's not the same rule. Like for example, even in this world also, there are different rules for brahmachari, different rules for grasthas. Like a brahmachari, he cannot enjoy with the opposite sex. Grasthas can enjoy with his wife. Similarly, as far as demigods are concerned, in the custody of demigod, there is nothing called sin. There is no sin. One can exhaust one's piety by enjoying with the apsaras, but one doesn't get sin by enjoying with the apsaras. So there are different rules for the planets of the demigods, heavenly planets. It's not like the mundane world. Demigods will not even look at the women which these foolish people of this world are looking at. Apsaras, if they take a bath in any swimming pool, not a swimming pool, in river also, whole river water or swimming pool will become fragrant. Then they become attracted. So if they come here, they find any women giving a foul smell from the body, they will run away. So their levels of enjoyment is pretty high than all of us. Similarly, people of this world will drink liquor which gives obnoxious smell to even all of us. But demigods, their liquor is not like that. It gives them strength and vitality. It doesn't remove the vitality. So it's not the way they show in the TV serials. Main problem is the way TV serials. Whole India is spoiled because of TV serials. Similarly, Indra, he performs some mistakes in whole life. Maybe in whole life he performed 2-3 mistakes. We perform more than those mistakes in one day only. So demigods, they got that position because they have greater piety. They have greater goodness. Like many people are there, there's something called there's a proverb. Morality, lack of opportunity. Morality is lack of opportunity. That is why people sometimes so much criticize the ministers. He is corrupt, he is corrupt, he is corrupt. You are not corrupt because you don't have the opportunity to become corrupt. If you are put in that position, you may also become corrupt. So handling power is not possible for each and every person. It's very difficult. Like even this world, those who are like ministers, I personally heard from them. Those who are cabinet ministers. I happened to go in one place where they were discussing. They were telling even to get away from the opposite sex is so difficult. So many girls are behind them. No, please give us job and enjoy with us. Then to say no is very difficult. Rather than running after them. So handling power needs a good amount of piety, good amount of goodness. Of course, that is not taught in the modern culture, but that is Vedic culture. So in the government of the Supreme Lord, people who have qualification for handling power are given power. Not that anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry is given a power. It's not like that. So Lord sees those who can use power, not exploit power, are given power. Okay.
Yes, Lord. Thank you very much.
Okay, so it's 8:38. So 20 minutes are there. But here in our Gosala, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj is giving class. And class has just started. So I left little early today. So so that I can also take the association. And some homework is there, if in case, then I'll send in the WhatsApp group. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की
जय।
श्रील प्रभुपाद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Thank you.